Shubh Sandhya to everyone. Shubh Sandhya, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Ajni Malaikal is very unhappy with me. She just muted me.
Oh, you know, sir. No, sir, I was searching for you.
See, how can you forget black, baldy, ugly doctor from Bengaluru?
No,
Okay.
no.
Anyhow, a little correction. My name is not R. Patel, but Dr. B.D. Patel. Bharat Desh Patel.
Oh, sorry, sir. I'm so sorry.
ഇപ്പൊ മനസ്സിലായി ഞാൻ എന്താ പറഞ്ഞു?
Yes, sir.
മലയാളം അറിയാം.
I know you know Malayalam and 14 working languages.
Yeah, just it's an attempt.
You are like
to
Christian
be
Frederick
more...
Samuel Haniman.
No, Hanuman. Don't compare me. He's very great. Anyhow, friends, last time we had stopped where the snakes, we are talking of general characters of snakes. Snakes are also used to protect the money, wealth, as well as temples, religious places. Most of the time, you see anywhere in the world, any temple, any worship place, somewhere or other, the snake is connected with that. So anyhow, let me share my PPT. Is it visible?
Yes, visible. Visible.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, snakes, as we said, snakes and treasures. Some snakes, such as rattlesnake, etc., or cobras, frequently defend their ground first, resorting to threatening display and then fighting rather than retreat. Many snakes retreat. When somebody comes there, they go run away. But these two snakes, rattlesnakes and cobras which are more found in India, and rattlesnakes more found in American and what do you call this, South African countries or African countries. Some rattles are there in India also. So this we need to understand. If anybody, this is also a symptom where they don't retreat but keep on fighting. Thus, they are natural guardians of treasures or sacred sites, guardians of temples. So they are religious even up to mania. They can be so religious that it can go into a maniac state. The snake was often considered one of the wisest animals, being close to the divine. So most of the people, those who are divine, they think the snake is very divine and it is very close and is the wisest animal. We have discussed many common symptoms of snakes, which can be applied to the human being also. There are 216 species are found in India, of which only 52 are poisonous snakes. Few common characteristic symptoms like anxiety, loquacity, suspiciousness, religious insanity, fastidious, hydrophobia, hematuria, irritability, all these things you need to think about characters of snakes and lower group of animals. So when people have this type, they have some group, that is snake group, which suits them. Although all snake medicines have many similarities, they also have individual features which help us in selecting the specific medicine. That will take up maybe in the last session. Now, this is a very rare shot of a snake having feather. This sometimes you may find in figures with the religious gods and all that. But this is a real snake which was caught, which had uh, a feather on its head. Snakes grow faster in the first 2 years of their life and they never stop growing. Snakes always need new skin once in a while, like children always grow out of their clothes and shoes. The snakes become dull and lazy before shedding or sloughing their skin, and they are quick, alert, and look bright after shedding of their skin. Now, mental symptoms of some snake medicines. This is a common factor what we see, great loquacity, activeness, and anxiety. This is found in general almost all snakes. Suspicious nature, great fear of death and disease, religious insanity, fastidious, irritable and quarrelsome, competitiveness and attractiveness. This is one important factor when generally we don't pay attention. They want to compete, and at the same time, they attract people by their talk, by their looks, by their behavior, by their gestures, by their way of presenting themselves. They wear very attractive clothes. Desires solitude and company sometimes. Competitiveness is whenever they are in a group, they would like to talk more and they would like to always compete with others. Suppose somebody is giving some statement, they would like to counter or they would like to give a better statement. Secretive and quarrelsome, and also they have hydrophobia like your dog remedies. Okay, these are things. And then here I want to say one religious insanity. I remember a case, maybe some 30 years back. A lady who was teaching in the class, in a school, and non-believer in God. She never believed anytime and she never prayed. And the moment she retired, something happened in life. And she was into so much of religious practices. See, believing religion, practicing religion, it's okay to some extent. But 24 hours, she was with some book, she was doing some puja, she was doing some prayer, she was doing some sadhana. Almost 18 hours, what she was waking up, at least 14 hours. She will take meal and again go back and sit there. So that I remember that case. And that case responded to Naja, not Lachesis, but Naja. Snake's characters extremely sensitive to heat, so lives in deep burrows where it is little cool. The same things apply to patient. Patient worse in warm weather, hot drinks, sun, and in summer. Sensitive to touch and vibrations is the snake. Patient aggravation by touch and slight sound, they get irritated. Stools of snakes are black and offensive. Patients' discharges are dark and offensive. Ferocious and poisonous when hungry. Patient aggravated by fasting or and better after eating. See a snake patient, maybe lacks anybody. If they are hungry, they cannot wait for a second. They keep on shouting, yes, I want food. If children are there, they keep on hitting their plates. And the moment you give them something, 2, 3 morsels, once it goes into stomach, then they calm down as if they did nothing. They are poisonous. It means there is jealousy and suspicion. Same thing is replied in the patient. Characteristic symptoms are suspicion and jealousy. This is basically you see more in either mother-in-law or daughter-in-law. they suspect, they are jealous. This is one of the best medicine for Indian mother-in-laws or daughter-in-laws. Because in Western countries, most of the time they don't live together. But Indian, in still some families, they stay together. At that way you get this. Just think of these medicines and try to suit in some of the snake medicines, and maybe that will help the family. Now, these are some of the snakes which we use commonly in homeopathy. Bothrops. Crotalus horridus, rattlesnake. This is one of the best medicines which has been used for H1N1 and other infectious diseases. Crotalus cascavelli is Brazilian snake. Chancris contrix, copperhead snake. Elaps corallinus, coral snake. Hydrophis cynosinectus, it is a sea snake. Lachesis trichinocephalus, sir-cuckoo snake, what we commonly use. Naja tribudens, that is cobra, Indian cobra. Toxicophis, Mocasian snake. Vipera beres, German viper. Now just have a look at this. The white dot is a snake, and you are trying to understand the snake. This is what it happens. This is how you will be, in spite of studying Lachesis lifelong, still you will not be able to completely understand or utilize this remedy in all its dimensions. Why Lachesis? Because this is basically a class for Lachesis. So I mentioned, otherwise any snake remedy, it is just like that. You study lifelong, still there will be some symptom, some case which you will feel, hey, I should have prescribed this, I have not done that. Now let us take a little bit of Lachesis. It's a Greek mythology. Lachesis, it is our spelling. One of the three fates, the measurer of the thread of destiny. The life is measured by Lachesis. Latin from Greek, Lachesis, from Lancanian, lac, to obtain. It means to obtain a lot, to obtain by lot. Now this is a just representation. The three fates, Lachesis is in the middle. That's how they measure and give you the life. This is another representation of the Lachesis in the Greek mythology. Same thing. Are you able to listen to the voice? Hello? Hello? Are you able to listen to the voice? Voice is coming?
Not much.
Okay.
From where you are.
Yeah, now it's
Yeah.
audible.
You see the snake, how it is lying under a cover. It
That's a
wants to
Bushmaster.
go silent Not
It's the
disturbing.
largest venomous snake in the Western Hemisphere, and it's the largest pit viper in the world. It's the object of all sorts of horror tales and myths. And you see, the Amazon's full of hazards. There's all kinds of things that can happen to you. But each hazard has a risk factor. How likely is it that it will happen? Risk analysis is a science we use in our everyday life and always have. How likely is it that the roof of your house will cave in on you? The problem with wildlife is we assign all of it a 100% risk factor. And so we're just as ignorant and fearful of wildlife now as we were in the 1700s. And it's not helped by Hollywood. They like to take really low-risk hazards like accidents with bushmasters, accidents with piranhas, anacondas, jaguars, and make scary movies out of it. So everybody's afraid, and it's a shame, because if you understand these creatures, you can set aside your fear and respect them. And when you do that, then you're free to appreciate how absolutely gorgeous something like this is. That's what I've tried to do for the last 20 years. Bringing people down here and letting them get over their fears and understand that the Amazon's a beautiful, fragile place. It's full of things that need our help. And it's important to learn the difference between being afraid of them and respecting them. After a lifetime spent in rainforest, it's been my good fortune to see more than my share of these snakes. But I have to say that every time I see one, I find it just as awe-inspiring. I'm just going to let him crawl down this way, and he's probably just going to go off to a spot and coil up and stay again, maybe as much as 3 or 4 weeks without moving.
Lachesis muta, also known as bushmaster or Atlantic bushmaster, is a venomous pit viper. It is pit viper species found in South America as well as the islands of Trinidad in the Caribbean islands. Inner restlessness and agitation, which results in extreme talkativeness, sarcasm, vivid imaginings, and passionate, intense behavior. This is a typical quality of a Lachesis or most of the snakes, but more found in Lachesis. But everybody knows talkativeness. But sarcasm, they can pass comment on you, even without you expecting. And they talk very sarcastically. And vivid imaginings. They can imagine so many things which you cannot even think about it. At the same time, they are very passionate and in whatever they do. And their behavior is also very intense. They mean something. It's not that they just touch and go away. No, their behavior is so intense. They're so passionate. You remember the meeting with that person even after some time, maybe after 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, after a year. That much behavior they have, the passionate behavior. Now, everybody knows Dr. Many of you may be knowing this, but still I would like to repeat. Let us refresh our memories. Constant Herring, 1800 to 1880, he was the man who introduced this word. Now, this is what exactly we need to study. How Lachesis fangs are. It is very sharp, very much curved. Venom canal, this is how it is. And here is the tongue. Tongue has nothing to do. Everything is from the fangs. Here it is, the poison is situated and it delivers through this venom gland. Tooth, forked tongue. Okay. Now this is where it is. Now the poison, this is poison sac. It compresses venom gland and this all comes through the teeth. Right. These teeth are of no much use. Basic poison comes from the upper one. Brain, primary venom duct, accessory gland, secondary venom duct, and it is flown into the body of whomever she bites. Now this is how it is. It can open the mouth. Bite of Lachesis muta can be really fatal. Once it bite, you may die within some time. Now this is how poison comes out. And this is snake bite. where we have seen this. And I'll tell you, it will not bite only in one bite. It will bite repeated 2, 3, 4 times. So the poison is so much enters in the body. Now, Lachesis tongue is this bluish, blackish color, and it will not bite any artificial limb or artificial things because it can sense that there is no heat in that. Won't bite artificial arm. Now, this is a typical bite of Lachesis, which has bitten someone. Now, this is the only viper which lays eggs. Most of the snakes give birth to live snakes, but this is the only viper which lays eggs. Characteristics known for aggressively attacking, particularly when agitated or startled. Now you see that you have seen that video when the snake was sleeping, the person lifted it slowly and he left it in the other side. But if you irritate it, if you are trying to threaten it, it will attack you very aggressively. Oviparous egg bearing with 14 to 12 young hatched in the spring. It can be 3 feet to 14 feet long. When Herring first experiments were made, he was botanizing and zoologizing on the upper Amazon for the German government. He was an employee of German government. He was trying to study the biology of the Amazon area. Except his wife, all those about him were natives who told him so much about the dreaded surcuckoo that he offered a good reward for a live specimen. Because he was working in the jungle, most of them were only locals, tribals, natives. And they were the only people who came from Germany and tried to study this. So they told about this snake surcuckoo, which was, they said, come on, I'll pay money, get me one live. At last, one was brought in a bamboo box, and those who brought it immediately fled after giving it, and all his native servants ran away with him. They kept the bamboo box, long bamboo covered, said, this is the snake, pay us the money, and they ran away because they were scared about that. The first situation and first dilution in alcohol of the snake poison, Trichinophilus lachesis, was made by Dr. Herring in July 28, 1828. I think the story is like this. Maybe it may come afterwards. See, he tried to remove the box, remove the cover. And the moment he removed the cover, the snake ran away with a lot of breath, just leaving out the breath and ran away. This man was holding close to that and he smelled that breath and he became unconscious. Anyhow, that will come afterwards. Herring stunned the snake with a blow on the head, then holding its head in a forked stick, he pressed its venom out of the poison bag upon sugar of milk. This is how afterwards, he got another snake, which he opened and he hit at the head and the snake poison came out on the sugar of milk. The effect of handling the venom and preparing the lower attenuation was to throw Herring into a fever with a tossing delirium and mania, much to his wife's dismay. His wife was really shocked. What is happening to my husband? He was having fever and delirium, mania, everything. And the only person who was observing him was his wife. Towards morning, he slept, and on waking, his mind was clear. He drank little water to moisten his throat, and the first question this indomitable prover asked was, what did I do and say? See the commitment he knew that it was a poisonous effect on his body and he was unconscious. He was sleeping for 2 days or 1 day, whatever it is. The first question he asked is, what did I do? And I say, the symptoms were written down, and this was the first installment of the proving of Lachesis. We must remember the great sacrifice and great contribution of Dr. Herring. First cases were published in the archives in 1835. This was done in 1828 and this was published in 1835. Dr. Herring could never tolerate a tight clothing about his neck. After that, he always wore his collars loose. Now you see, if you remember the photo, what I showed, it is a closed collar. Earlier, people in British, America, they were wearing closed collars. Now today, what we wear is open collar. Maybe we should attribute it because Herring could not tolerate anything tight clothing around his neck. He made the collar loose, and we are also following that. He faithfully made note of the occurrence, but did not place much value on it. Nash and others said that if Herring had done nothing else for medicine but the proving of the single drug Lachesis, the world would owe him an everlasting debt of gratitude that alone would immortalize him, because his contribution, he did, Herring contributed a lot to homeopathy, but this alone, Lachesis proving alone, is a great contribution. Let us see how the venom is extracted.
This is the Bushmaster that she has. Sir, now we are seeing the last slide when Herring's first experiments were made. He was botanizing and zoologizing the upper Amazon for the German government. That is a slide that we are seeing now.
You see, biting 2-3 times. See the teeth, how strong they are.
No, sir, no, we cannot see that. We are seeing the last slide.
Okay. What?
I think you are now playing the video, but it's not visible for us.
Right. Now is it visible?
No, sir, we are seeing the last slide. It's written when Herring's first experiments were made. That's
Okay.
yeah. Now again you have to.
Let me reload it. Now are you able to see?
Yeah. Now we can see. And yeah, play. Yeah.
This is a Bushmaster, Lachesis minuta. Sir, very large.
Sir, now, yeah. Now, yeah.
You can see how many times it is biting. Not once, 3 times. And see the long teeth. And you see how it is covered, curved.
Yeah.
And the poison is getting extracted. Are you able to see this?
Yes.
Herring self-experimentation 1828 method, effects of first and second triturations and symptoms felt during trituration. Provings under direction of Herring, 18 provers. After that, he proved with 18 provers and 16 males, 2 females. 18 names are mentioned in his book. But more people were involved. Example, a man with several large warts on hands, a pale girl at puberty, a man who had been blind more than 10 years. 1829 to 36 method, 30th dilution, manner not stated but most likely in repeated doses. Robinson, 3 provers, 2 females, 1 male. Method 6th, 20th, 30th dilution, 4 times a day was given. See, there are different provers who proved after Herring. Bridge, 5 provers, among which 2 patients. Method 6th, 260 M and CM. Today we don't get 60 M, but people at that time used to do that. Some reports suggest that this species produces a large amount of venom that is weak compared to some other vipers. But still, it is more poisonous because the quantity is more in this. These animals are badly affected by stress and rarely live long in captivity. This makes it difficult to obtain venom in useful quantities and good condition for study purpose. Bolognese observed that venom yield from his specimens fell from 233 milligrams to 64 milligrams while they remained in his care. See, when you take a natural snake, that will give more quantity and more venomous, rather than when you breed it in the house, breed it in the laboratory. As the stress of being milked regularly has this effect on venom yield, it is reasoned that it may also affect the venom toxicity. Anyhow, this we all know. Natural animals are natural, they have natural venom, natural quantity, and all that. When you try to put them in a laboratory in some closed places, they know that they are being caged. So their poisonous effect also comes down, quantity also comes down. Dr. Kent got a patient. This is very interesting. Dr. Kent got a patient who had finished her medical studies. This patient had consulted the most famous homeopathic doctors of America, and every one of them had prescribed medicines. There was no change for her symptoms, rather aggravation. After studying the case carefully, Kent concluded that she is a clear-cut case of Lachesis. Kent did not prescribe any medicine, but said she had been manifesting a proving of Lachesis. The frequent repetition of the remedy had created a chronic medicinal illness. Diagnosed her as having an incurable iatrogenic miasm of Lachesis due to too many repetitions of Lachesis. This lady doctor later became Kent's second wife. She is none other than Dr. Clara Laus. Her intelligence and competent personality made her an inspiring companion, and with her, he executed his masterful works on homeopathic philosophy, materia medica, and repertory. Here I would like to say one thing, friends. Maybe that Lachesis proving made her more intelligent, more thinking capacity, and more grasping and more analyzing, so that all the 3 major books of Kent, philosophy, mathematics, and repertory, are today authorities for us. See, whatever you may say, whatever new people might have come, but whatever written in these 3 books, even the repertory, they are till today 100% positive. And other writers who have contributed or added remedies to repertory and all that, they may sometimes work or not. I have personal experience. Whatever I have tried to prove Kent wrong in many places, but no, I failed. What if the symptom is correct? If my interpretation is correct, the medicine worked 100%. Maybe this clarity Dr. Clara Laus had because of Lachesis poisoning. In 1837, this remedy was introduced into our materia medica. Hempel had declared the remedy inert, in fact, no remedy at all. Dr. Herring had named Boyce the man who saved Lachesis. Occupies nearly 100 pages in Herring's guiding symptoms. Nash, an old syphilitic, suffered from obstinate constipation with severe colic. This is Nash gave this and was not improving. One day he said, "Doctor, if I could only keep awake, I would never have another attack." Imagine this symptom. So, sleep aggravation, we talk many times of Lachesis. This symptom was not given by Herring. It was given by Nash when he was treating a case. And in response to an inquiring look from the doctor, he added, "I mean that I sleep into the attack and waken in it." This is what the exact words by the patient. He never had another attack. One dose of Lachesis 200 cured the colic and the constipation too. Imagine, he came for constipation and he had some pain. Naturally, when you don't pass motions for a few days, you will have pain and all those things. And the symptom what he gave and the way Dr. Nash interpreted it, that gave us this symptom, sleeps into aggravation. Sleeps into aggravation was reduced by Dr. Nash by his patient. All symptoms, especially the warmth, the mental, are worse after sleep and in warmth. Condition better after sleep does not necessarily contraindicate Lachesis. Dr. Rushmore, cured with Lachesis CM, wants to close the eyes with the headache, which is better by sleep. That means sometimes we have this type of symptoms also. If the patient says, "Sometimes I feel better by sleep," and all other symptoms correlate to Lachesis, you need not stop prescribing Lachesis, you can give Lachesis. But of course, the major symptom is sleeping into aggravation. Coffee makes them feel better. This is again symptom for Lachesis. Ailments from long-lasting grief, sorrow, fright, vexation, jealousy, disappointed love, or suppression. See, disappointed love, we have a lot of medicine, but suppression of love, we have few medicines, and in them, one of them is Lachesis. The patient can be very normal, like pulsatilla, very nice and all that. But if she or he had some love affair and disappointment happened, the partner left, and the love is suppressed continuously, they can become Lachesis patient, like jealousy, suspiciousness, talkativeness, and feeling of always anxiety can be a cause for this suppression of love. A famous homeopath called Lachesis complains the price for the unlived life. This is what I was trying to tell you. They feel the entire life is finished just because they had one love affair failure. And recently, let me tell you, friends, we had one mother, a mother brought her son, 6 feet 2 inches tall, very fair, like a film actor. And that boy is only 24 years. And believe me, he said, "Sir, my son was such a lovely person, all positive qualities," she told me. Only thing, for the last 6 years, she was with one girl. He was with one girl, had some affair, and after 6 years of being together, she left him and went and joined some other boy. And that disappointment made him to enter drinking, smoking, and including LSD drugs. Basically, he's from a pure Brahmin family. They are not supposed to do all this, but he entered all these things. Much pain in shin bones of an aching kind only. This has been frequently verified. Shin bone pains. Generally, we don't think about Lachesis, but let us remember now next time any case comes. W.G. Guernsey has pointed out that when such pains occur concomitantly with throat affection, Lachesis is specific. If you have pain in the shin bone plus throat complaints, let us think of Lachesis. This will not strike us. But when we keep on listening to such lectures, sometimes when a case comes, we may remember that. During the headache, heart is in trouble. After the headache, skipping beats. These are some peculiar symptoms which are specifically meant for Lachesis. During the headache, heart is in trouble. That is, there is a lot of palpitation and some weak feeling in the heart. All these things can come. After the headache, beats, heart beating starts like skipping. Loss of appetite after headache. We can hardly think of Lachesis, but let us add to the list one of the medicines is Lachesis. When the Bushmaster strikes its prey, it drops its jaw, which then rotates from the left to the right. See this? Left to right. That's one of the symptoms why we have more symptoms on left side. When it swallows its prey, the snake's 400 or more ribs move in a left to right rotation. Sometimes people ask why this Lachesis is only left to right, why not right to left symptoms? So this is how the reason we can slowly attach or correlate. When it swallows its prey, the snake's 400 or more ribs move in a left to right rotation. All of the Bushmaster's organs are on its left side. See this, wonderful one. Snakes coils itself from left to right. Symptoms of patients also proceed from left to right, except crotalus and elaps, which are right-sided in nature. This can be a differentiating factor. Very angry, ferocious, and also too poisonous if hungry. The patient of this group are also aggravated by fasting and emulated after eating. Already we discussed this. This powerful snake swallows its meals whole in large quantities, equivalent human meal of 150-pound hamburger in a single gulp without a coke or anything. It can swallow such a big hamburger size. Animals it can swallow. Lachesis have pain and difficulty swallowing empty, but are ameliorated by swallowing food or salt. This is a typical symptoms. This we also find in belladonna also. But Lachesis have pain in swallowing empty, swallowing saliva, that can be painful. But they swallow the food in large quantities, there is no pain. Maybe the earlier symptom, earlier feature can be symptom. The Bushmaster is warm-blooded and avoids sunlight and heat, going underground or to higher elevations where it is cooler. Likewise, Lachesis people are warm-blooded, especially during illness, and are aggravated in the heat. The Bushmaster is nocturnal and therefore hunts and feeds during the night. Similarly, Lachesis people can stay up throughout the night without feeling tired. This is another symptom. They even do their best mental labor at night. I had one patient who was running a transport company. When I was talking to him, he said, a problem, I gave him a schedule, how to live, how to eat, how to sleep. I said, please sleep before 10 o'clock, get up at 4 o'clock and do the job. He said, no, never. I work in the night and I sleep in the day. He said, no, sir, I'm not finding any problem. I'm 50 years old. This is maybe in routine. Maybe some people get used to it and maybe they need medicine like Lachesis. Strikes so fast that what appears as only a single strike will actually be 3 or more strikes. The snake that actually pursues intruders, every other snake only strikes when threatened. This one will go after you if you are in their territory. Likewise, Lachesis walk and talk fast and have rapid thoughts and quick comprehensions. We will take few slides and then we'll stop for 5 minutes, any discussion you want. The Bushmaster's tongue constantly waggles as it moves. Similarly, the Lachesis has one of the most loquacious tongues in our materia medica. Its only vulnerable place is its jaw and neck area. That's why you see neck area is very prominent and has a lot of symptoms in the neck area of the Lachesis patient. When it is grabbed by the neck, the snake will thrash around and trying to get loose. That's why those people who play with the snakes, they don't hold it by the neck, they hold little below. They get many throat symptoms and they are so sensitive in this region. They cannot stand to have anything around their neck, even light clothing. In Eastern Zoo, an Eastern Zoo has recorded 2 bushmasters copulating for 22 continuous hours. Imagine. So the sex aspect, the intercourse aspect of a snake, especially Lachesis, is very passionate. As I showed you some of the earlier videos in the last lecture, how the snakes copulate, how the snakes twine around themselves. So this was having copulating for 22 hours, which is generally rarely seen. Surprisingly enough, homosexuality among bushmasters has been documented. That's what they say, homosexuality is there, patient comes, we can prescribe few doses of Lachesis and that may reduce or stop. But I do not know how far we will be successful as this homosexuality is increasing today in the youth. Lachesis is one of the few homeopathic remedies known for its homosexuality. Kent lists it as aversion of men to women and falls in love with the member of her own sex. This is the symptom. So that people started prescribing. The snake is very sensitive to touch and vibration. Likewise, the patient is aggravated by touch and light sound. We have already done that. Yeah, this is also we have done it. Now, Lachesis often feels controlled or ruled by superhuman powers. This is what I was telling you, more towards spirituality. They can hear voices that command them to steal, to do things which generally you are not supposed to do. They feel a devil inside who scolds and rages beyond their control. Sometimes if the Lachesis is proving and maniac symptoms are there, they say, sir, I know what I'm doing is wrong, but I cannot control myself. This happens. They feel being led by God, performing a special mission. And this is what terrorists always do that. They say this is God's wish, so we are doing God's. But they never think, is it right or wrong? Is it good for human beings or not? They say, yes, this is God's will, God's mission, and I'm doing it. So for terrorists also, you can think who are maniac, religious maniac, and who do all these things. We can give few doses, maybe they can come out of that. With this slide, I would like to stop here. And we can take up few questions. Dr. Ajini Malaika.
Sir.
Yes, you can, because only 5 minutes are left. Immediately you will say the next session is there. Stop it. So I'll continue in my third session. Yeah.
Actually, it was a really wonderful session. If I don't know, maybe in your college you are teaching like this. After many years, we are hearing such a wonderful class. It's crystal clear and even like a movie. We all remember all the symptoms. Thank you so much, sir. You have put your effort to study and make others to understand wonderfully. And I'm not taking much time for that. I'm calling Dr. Hariharan. Dr. Hariharan, please ask your question. Unmute yourself and ask.
Dr. Ajini,
Uh.
this is my one-day seminar, which I do in colleges with lot of cases also. But here, it's only 1 hour. So anytime if you are connected to any college, you can invite us. We will take one-day session for all, with a lot of cases, how it has helped. Yes, sir. Hariharan, Dr. Hariharan ji, yes.
Okay.
Parayam, Dr. Hariharan.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay, sir. Your class is very wonderful regarding Lachesis. I have not heard such a class in any platform.
Exactly.
So nice of you.
Really, I am respecting you, sir.
You thank Ajani.
Sir, one of my doubt is that in
All these
Lachesis,
things goes to constantly hearing. Yes.
See, sensation of circulation. That Lachesis
Yes, yes, sir.
sensation of circulation. Sensation of circulation.
Actually, can you clarify what she said?
Sensation
of circulation.
Sensation of
Circulation. Yeah.
Yeah. Repeat again. Sensation of
Lachesis patients feels sensation of circulation.
Yes, that will come later on in my next lecture because I have cut it short because of the time. All these things may come to you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So nice. Anybody, anything else?
And Dr.
Parvesh ji,
Ram
kaise hain
Parvesh,
aap?
Dr. Ram Parvesh also raised his hand, and now I
Yeah.
cannot see where he.
No, he's
Doctor,
here. He's
Thank you.
unmuted.
do you
Sir,
have?
congratulations.
Yes. That symptom will
Very
come.
nice presentation. Excellent session.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Describe Lachesis medicine or main symptom, suppression of love affair.
Yes.
Suppression
क्यों
of
भाई?
love affair and
Did you have
homosexuality.
an affair?
Homosexuality is the best medicine. Lachesis. I am salute, sir.
Yeah,
Very
Here.
big salute for you, sir.
Sir,
Really, while you were
Hariharan ji talked about amelioration and all that. That's okay. That will come. But Ram Paresh ji, मुझे लगता है you had a love affair somewhere. You took that symptom as more important. Of course. See, that is only for the youth. अब तो गुजरा हुआ जमाना है, क्या मोहब्बत, क्या तराना है.
for the Mohabbat, there is no
yes,
age, sir. 20
अच्छा,
வயதில் இளமை காதல் 60 வயதில்
नहीं. No, I also love, for example, I love you as my daughter, not anything else.
And
Okay.
even there is a song, have you heard that 20 வயதில் இளமை காதல் 60 வயதில் அனுபவ காதல். So,
Yeah. That we have. But at this age, I love. See, for example, you, I take you as my daughter. I love you. Fine. But that love, what Ram Parvesh said, is a different love.
okay, sir. I
Any-
think Dr. Danesh has raised his hand, and
Yes.
Dr. Danesh, we have 2 more minutes. You
Yes,
can.
sir. Yes, sir. It's really a very good session once again from you. Really, I still remember the equation on the final year examination. We had a question on Lachesis. That was for the essay
Sir,
writing.
your voice is less. You increase your voice.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes.
Yeah.
During the final exam, our question was on Lachesis for essay writing. And in those days, if you have presented such a presentation, we would have been very, very happy to recollect all those things, and maybe able to write all those things with perfection. Anyway, I wrote it in a good way about Lachesis and succeeded with the good marks in that Lachesis alone, because that was 20. There was 20 marks for that question. So the only thing we need to be remembering at that time was a night aggravation, morning aggravation, tight clothing aggravation, all those things, and so these are some of the symptoms. Very recently, a case of Lachesis was cured with a thyroid hypothyroidism case.
Exactly.
It was totally cleared with the Lachesis, because that was the typical. The patient cannot sleep during night, and she always get up by night because of the suffocation feeling in the throat, and that a lot to the menopausal time. So anyway, it's really a big session. Hope that the third part will be coming soon, and we will be able to follow Lachesis in one or two presentations, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ajin Malaikaji, can you do one thing? You can put in the mail anything they want, comments and all that, anything else they want to know more, they can put it in the chat box, and you can send me the message so that we will cover up that in the next lecture.
Oh, sure,
See,
sir,
certain
sure.
things are there. See, it's a very big drug. We cannot do everything, cannot be told. If somebody says that this case I want or this symptom I want, that also you can tell.
Okay, sure, sir, sure. And I think the participants are hearing
just
Dr.
circulating
Patel's.
the message, and you can inform everybody, everyone who's listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, please put down your comments.
Everyone is
whatever you
listening
want,
this.
and
Please
we
put
can-
your comments in the comment box. Regarding the doubts also, you can put in the comment box. We will forward to Dr. Patel. So
Hello, sir. Sir
Yeah,
Patel, sir.
Ji.
Sir, Lachesis
boliye.
is the very important medicine, suppression of love. तो हम सर जो है हिंदी में कहावत है,
हाँ जी,
हर
कहो।
के दिल में कुछ किस हुआ करते हैं, हर के दिल में कुछ किस हुआ करते हैं, हर का दिल में कोई हुक हुआ करते हैं, या कोई जरूरी नहीं कि हर कोई ताजमहल बना ले, लेकिन हर के दिल में मुमताज हुआ करते हैं. वाह.
you triggered.
So last time I'll take one.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
हरकत दिल में होती है, कुछ बयां करते हैं, कुछ खुद को अंदर रखते हैं, कुछ बयां करते हैं, कुछ अंदर रखते हैं. आधा वर्ष. ठीक है. ठीक है.
Thank you.
So I will get out.
There is some
Dr.
fluctuation in your
Ganesh can
sound.
take up the class further. Shivaratri to everyone.
Thank you so much, and come again. Really eagerly waiting for your next class. And now it is time for the Malayalam session. I'm inviting Dr. Danesh for moderating Malayalam session. Dr. Danesh, are you moderating the?
Dr. Mariamma.
Dr. Mariamma. Dr. Mariamma, I'm inviting you to moderate Malayalam session. Please welcome. Thank you so much, all the participants. See you tomorrow, the same time. Thank you.